What's going on, brothers? What's going on? How you brothers doing, man? It's your dude, Mr. International Passport, here again for yet another Future Classic live stream. If you can hear me loud and clear, please put some one in the live stream chat. Mayday, Mayday, check 1 2, check 1 2. Houston, do we have a problem? Let me know. Press some one if you can hear me loud and clear. Okay, who's here? Jane, Outlander, Archive. That's a real crazy name right there. Appreciate you, bro. Delvin, Justin in the building. Who else is here, man? Manchester Blue, Wobbed Up, Introvert Life. Thank you. So let's get straight into it. Please like the video, like the stream. That's very important. Please hit the super chats, hit the PayPal donations. Support me on this journey to free you, free your mind, and get you out the matrix. Please support me. Join the Patreon, okay? You can join the Patreon Diamond tier or any other tier, okay? For intel on foreign women and how freaky they are in the bedroom. Let me tell these Japanese chicks, man, they're freaks in the bedroom, okay? Join the Patreon for intel on stocks, crypto. I dropped some intel on the crypto literally last week, this week actually, okay, where did a lot of research on it, and I'm here to share that intel with you, brothers, okay? But if you want to support me in general, just join the Patreon. There's a support tier where you can support me and what I do, okay? Please support me because I put a lot of time and energy on this channel to try and, you know, save and encourage brothers, okay? Please, okay? Aside from that, brothers, okay, I want to say, you know, you can hit the consultations by the Candy link below. IT consultations for IT intel and IT guidance. You can cop the merch too, okay? But please support me any way you can, okay? So let's get straight into this live stream, okay? So as you all know, it's been pretty hot. It's been a hot summer for brothers. The block has been hot for black men in the UK. Okay, over the past several weeks, there's been UK riots, and we've seen videos of British black men being attacked, being stepped to, being disrespected. You know, hold on. Yeah, disrespected, demeaned. It's been a hot summer for British black men, you know, and the riots have put a spotlight on black men. So right now, there's no riots happening, but I want to talk about the aftermath of the riots. And the title of this stream has told you, whites and Asians giving me weird looks. Aftermath of UK riots affecting black British men. Okay. The riots ended just over a week ago. And the scene, the atmosphere, the aura towards me as a black man has not been pleasant whatsoever. Something's happening in the UK, right? And it's getting real spooky. It's getting real spooky, like in the movies. And I ain't talking Scream 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I ain't talking scary movie, okay? I ain't talking Nightmare on Elm Street, okay? I ain't talking none of that. I'm talking this real life ish right here, brothers, man. I'm talking that real, bro. It feels like every other race or group of people are against black men specifically in the UK. And I don't know what's going on, but I don't feel safe. I don't feel safe in the UK anymore. I really don't. Like, so for example, right, last week I was on the bus, and this drunk white guy comes on the bus, right? He sits opposite me and he just stares at me. He stares at me. He gives me a very sinister look. And I look at him back. 'Cause I thought right there, Ish might pop off. I thought right there, right then, Ish might pop off. So I'm already clenching my fist in case Ish might pop off, bruv. It's crazy, bruv. The look. Then he looks away. Because I know it's bad right now in the UK for black men, but guess what? You're not gonna run up on me. You're not gonna run up on me and think it gonna be sweet. I'm gonna defend myself, bruv. You're not gonna run up on me, bruv. You're not. I will defend myself. The look, it feels like everyone is against us, even our own woman. I'm walking to the streets. I'm walking to the grocery store. I'm walking to the bus stop. I'm just focusing on myself. People are clutching their bags around me. People are looking behind themselves when I walk past. It's crazy. Like I was on the bus, right? And then I stand up, and this Arab guy holds his pockets. He just grabs his pockets and holds it. I'm like, bro, I'm not gonna use my hands to reach into your pockets to steal your phone. What the hell do you take me for? Bruv, this is the life of powerless black men in the UK. Because guess what? Black men are completely powerless. We have no power in the UK. We just there, bro. We just here. There's a reason why I've said plenty of times that I wish I was black American. I know America ain't sweet, but I wish I was black American. I got 40 million people backing me. In the UK, no one backing me. Our own women don't even like us. We got a huge gang culture in the UK. But ever since these UK riots, the aura been hot, the block been hot, bro. And guess what? I ain't gonna lie. There's been times where I felt in fear, bruv. Walking through a bunch of white people, Asians, could they attack me? I've been getting weird looks recently, bruv. I've been getting really, really weird looks. It ain't sweet out here, bruv. It's hell right now for black men, for black British men. We are oppressed in every single area in this country. So we have white people that, are that want the smoke for some reason. But how about Asians? Can we talk about them for a bit? I thought I thought we were in this POC brigade, right? If you're not white, we're brothers and sisters. But as I grow older, I'm realizing that all that is a lie. Non-black, non-white people don't rock with us, bro. Asians giving me weird looks. Indian Asians, East Asians. Bruv, they giving me weird looks. They're giving me weird looks, bro. The amount of Indian looking Asians, the amount of East Asian, Chinese looking Asians, right? Just looking at me funny on the bus, walking past them. I'm thinking, what is going on here? What is going on here? Listen, brothers, the block is hot for black men in the UK. I'm telling you right here, from my eyes only. Black British men are in trouble, bruv. And guess what? You know what makes it worse? We have no protections. You know, in America, right, you have a civil rights law. You have these black lawyers that will come and protect you or speak for you. You have, black media. We don't have that here. We have no black media in this country, or serious black media. We have no serious black media in this country. We have no power in this country. We have no say in this country. We're just there. We're not getting loved. We're not getting hired. You know, we're not being cared for. Our women don't love us. What's going on? What's going on? Powerless. The block is hot for black men in this country. Bruv, I've had to look to my left, to my right, forward, behind me when I'm walking in the night by myself. Yeah, I just don't know, brothers. I don't know if Ish might pop off, bruv. I'm on edge. I'm tense right now, bruv. I'm tense. Because I don't know what could happen, bro. Because right now, it feels like everyone has some sort of animosity towards black men in the UK. The aftermath of the UK riots is is affecting us mentally, potentially physically, and every areas of our lives. Remember, there's only 2 million black people in the UK, and there's 800,000 UK British black men. 800,000 British black men. That's not enough numbers. That is not enough numbers. We food out here, brothers. We food. But you would at least think that the non-white people, the non-white black people would be on black men's side. But I'm saying that black men ain't got no friends in the UK, bruv. British black men ain't got no friends in the UK. The Arabs don't mess with us. The Asians don't mess with us. No one messes with us, brothers. It's crazy. We food out here. And I want our American brothers to know that UK isn't tea, crumpets, biscuit, and the royal family. Brothers going through hell right now. Blue socks, watch the N-word use, bruv. Brothers going through hell right now. To the point where everyone feels against us. The other day, right, I'm just on my phone chilling, right? I'm looking at my phone. I'm watching a YouTube video. I look to the corner. So you know that feeling, right? That someone's looking at you, right? You know that feeling where you're doing nothing, right? Okay, and your eyes lock eyes with someone that's staring at you intensively. I don't know. To me, I think it's some sort of I don't know. I don't know what to call it, but I'm on my phone, right, and my mind tells me, IP, look to your right. I look to my right. There's one Asian person looking at me in a very nasty way. I'm like, what? What's going on? It was a look of evil, a look of contempt, like he wanted to attack me. Aside from that, right, a lot of women recently in the UK have been very harsh towards me. I'll give an example here, right? People talk about how um, women are not racist, women are the fairest sex, blah blah blah. Well, guess what, right? I'm coming across a lot of racist women, a lot of racist Asian women, a lot of racist white women that give me really bad looks, that clutch their bags, that give me really nasty looks, a look of hate, a look of contempt. I'm seeing that. Be careful, brothers. Don't let this thing trick you that women are not racist, women are weak, blah blah blah. A lot of women, right? Some of them are racist, clutching their bags, looking at me in a really nasty way, like I'm nothing, bruv. And it pains me that it's coming from non-white women. I thought we were all POC, people of color. I thought there was black, Asian, Indian, Arabic unity in the UK. I thought everyone understood that, you know, it was white people that's keeping us down. But I'm realizing that everyone is against the black man. Everyone, even our own woman. I think I mentioned in the previous stream that even though black women are black, they're still women. They can always fall back on that woman card. Well, guess what? Between the choice of being black and being a woman and being a feminist, black women have chosen being a woman and feminist over being black. That means black women, they ain't for us anymore in the UK. Unfortunately, even amongst black women, the way black women treat me, press a one in the live stream chat. If you're a black British man, press a one in the chat. If you've seen the way black women have switched up on black men, black women have completely switched up on black men. I'm seeing it every day. I'm seeing the way they look at me, the way they talk to me, the way they are around me. Even black women are clutching their bags and holding their phone tight around me. I'm like, yo, sister, we both black. You can't treat me like this, sister. What's going on? The microaggressions from everyone towards black men is crazy, bruv. Oh man. Oh my goodness, bro. Oh my goodness. Yo, black British man. Yo, I wish I was American, man. I wish I was American. I wish I was in Washington, D.C., in Prince County, or the Dealer Heights, or in Philadelphia. Because being in the UK, it ain't it, bro. I feel powerless here. I feel powerless here, bruv. I ain't got no network that can look out for me in the UK. We have a lot of lonely black men who are going through their own issues. A lot of lonely black men in the UK. A lot of lonely black men in the UK, bruv. A lot of black men. I can tell. I look into their eyes. I see what they're going through. They're going through hell, like me. I'm going through hell right now in the UK, brothers, man. A lot of people showing their true colors. A lot of people showing their true colors during this UK riots. People looking at me suspiciously. What's going on? Racism is coming back. Racism is coming back. Jane, name the troll, please. Who's the troll in the live stream chat? Racism is coming back, bro. And I'm starting to feel it. I'm starting to see it. I'm starting to see, you know, how people truly feel towards black men. I look at, you know, the job space in corporate UK. I don't see no black male faces. Last week, right, I was going through a couple business feeds and I come across a company. and there's only one black guy, but there's many women, many white women, many Asians, many white men, but only one black guy. We're being locked out. We're being locked out of wealth in the UK. We're being locked out of success in the UK. We're being locked out of prosperity in the UK. A lot of black men don't get promoted. Then we leave the job, okay, and then we go outside. We get hate towards people in the environment. It's too much, bruv. It's too much. It's too much, brothers. You go to the grocery store, security follows you around, gives you a fake smile. People look at you like you're dirt. What's going on? Black women have completely abandoned black men in the UK. Even black women are giving us those looks. The looks that white people give us, the looks that Asian people give us. BWs are also giving us that look. And I never thought that we would lose our BWs in the UK. I never thought that. I thought they were riding with us. I thought they understood the struggle. Well, guess what? Nah, bruv. No, no. Oh, man. It's crazy, brothers, man. It's crazy that after the UK riots, black men have been put on a target. A lot of people in the UK don't like British black men. They love black American men, but if you're a British black man, you have an accent like me, you're a clean-cut brother. A lot of people don't like us, man. A lot of people don't like British black men. British black men are hated in the UK. The poorest, the most oppressed, the most demeaned, and lonely. Dating prospects in the UK are going to get even worse for black men. Black British men that I know, they ain't getting no dates. And after the UK riots, their whole dating life has become really dry. In fact, listen, right? I was out in a shopping center today, and I know I keep saying this, right? But there is a loneliness pandemic amongst black British men in the UK. A lot of black British men are lonely, bruv. I did not see a single black British guy walking with a woman. But right? I saw white dudes with women left and right. I saw Asian dudes with women left and right. I saw Indian dudes with women left and right. I didn't see any black dude with any woman. And I'm seeing black dudes right in the gym, right? Hey, they have great fitness on point. But guess what, bruv? Guess what? That ain't enough for the women here in the West. Now I'm not advocating dating Western women. I'm past that, right? I'm only into foreign chicks. But for the black guys that still date in the UK, they're lonely, bruv. You can see the sadness and pain in black British men's eyes. Remember, right? There's only 800,000 of us. Compare that to people in France. France has a huge black population. France has a huge black population. We are doing bad in every metric in the UK, in wealth, in education, in promotions, in corporate UK, in dating. You need to understand that the UK has a very strong institutional systemic racism that's keeping black men down. Nobody speaks for us. Nobody is speaking about how the riots are affecting black men specifically. Yo, what's going on? I'm getting weird looks left, right, forward, center. I'm getting looks to the point where it feels like people want to square up with me. It feels like people want to fight me. People want to square up with me, bruv. To the point where I'm tensing my fist, like I'm ready for the smoke. I'm ready for the smoke. Because brothers, you just don't know, brothers. You just don't know. You don't know if someone might run up on you. I'm at a point where I feel like someone could run up on me anytime, bro. But guess what? You're not gonna run up on me and expect me to not defend myself. I will defend myself. It's getting real spooky over here, brothers. Real spooky. Come and see the amount of homeless black men on the streets. The amount of black men that speak to themselves. I was on a bus stop the other day, right? Black dude speaking to himself, and people looking at him weird. But if he's white, he gets help. If he's Asian, he gets help. So we ain't got no love from our own woman. The Asian chicks don't check for us in the UK. The Asian chicks too busy after the white man. The Asian woman's too busy living a very fabulous lifestyle. Show me a video. Show me something, right, of an Asian woman that is suffering or living in poverty. You notice that Asian women don't really go through that. Asian women are very, very, very protected in the UK, bruv. Particularly East Asian. The white man looks after her very much. Brothers, man, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Brothers, never in my life have I felt this kind of hatred or pressure to the point where I feel like someone might run up on a mofo. I don't want to fight anyone, but it feels at a point where someone might want to fight me. I feel, man, I feel like black British men. It could be over for us in the UK, bruv. It could be. They don't want us here. I'm scared for black British men. I'm really scared for black British men. I'm scared that black British men, you know, um, the oppression that we're going through right now can make you go crazy. Black British men are being actively oppressed in the UK. Come and see the amount of black men that are walking around with mental health issues. Come and see the amount of black men that have sadness and pain in their eyes. Speak to black men that work in corporate UK, working the same job, but no promotion for 8 years, 10 years. Working the same job for 8 years, 10 years, no promotion. Come and see how lonely and empty black men are in the UK. I'm seeing a lot more BWs with white men now. BWs have left us. BWs have left us, man. It's the world. It's the whole country against black men. The whole country. And I fear that things will get a lot more worse. Things will get extremely worse in the UK in terms of employment, in terms of education, in terms of health, in terms of safety. It feels like to me that black British men are public enemy number one. I'm scared, man. I'm scared. People looking at me funny. People, people just, man. Yo, I think it comes to a point where I'm begging African countries, I'm begging Caribbean countries, fix your society, man. Because a brother like me, right? I'm done. I'm tired, man. We need a first world African country because the people are getting more racist, people are getting more ruthless, people are getting more sinister. And with a population of only 800,000 black men, we feud out here, man. We feud. We feud out here. We feud. We need we need a first world African country. We need security, a strong military. We need protections. We need it, man. We need power. We need power too. We need power. We need power too. Now you see the life of powerless British black men. When you have no power, you're feud. Liberals have deceived us saying that kindness this, kindness that. What about power? Because if black British men had power right now, if black British men had power right now, we wouldn't be food. Bruv, it's insane. And do you know what? Do you know what hurts me the most? Seeing non-white people behave like white people. I grew up being told that there's person of color unity. Black, Indian, East Asian, Arab. We're all together. Nah, bruv. Every group is for themselves. Every group is for themselves. There's a reason why this channel is very black male centric, because I started to see that what we go through is very different from what white men go through, Asian men go through, blah 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 go through. You would think that, you know, Asians would be side by side amongst the black man and could relate to us. Nah, bruv. A lot of the times you know, they're on the white man's side. I'll give you an example. Right? I'm in the gym. I'm in the gym, right? And two Asian men are looking at me in a real funny way, bruv. In a real sinister way. Like, why is he here? Why is he here? You notice that? This is why when I go out, I'm always aware of my surroundings, because people look at you funny. People may want to, try and, run upon you. People may try and, want to, try and do something funny. Always be aware of your surroundings. left, right, forward, center, because you never know. You never know. At this point in time, I'm on my P's and Q's. At this point in time, I'm in my P's and Q's. The UK isn't fun and games, man. It's definitely not fun and games for black men. In fact, in most cases, it's hell for black men. It's hell. The high poverty rate in the black community in the UK, it's not by coincidence. It's by design, bruv. The system made it that way. I've had to work 5 times as hard than white people, Asian people, to get to where I am. 10 times as hard, 50 times as hard. When you're constantly working so hard to the point where you have no breaks, to the point where you're using every fiber in your body to make sure that people don't see you as nothing, that can mess you up mentally, brothers, man. That can mess you up mentally. Do you understand me? Do you understand me? When, okay, when you're working every fiber, every sweat of your body, right? When you're working every single sweat and fiber of your body, it can make you go crazy. I've been at points where mentally I had to just check out, bruv, because I was working too hard. Why am I not being appreciated? I'm clearly outshining my colleagues. Where's that, recognition? I don't get it. Black men don't get it. I'm gonna tell you this though. The life of black British men currently isn't too sweet. It's not too sweet, brothers. Particularly if you're a dark-skinned black man. If you're a dark-skinned black man, if you're a dark-skinned black man, be careful. Now, you have to understand that light-skinned black men, mixed-race black men have a lot of privileges in the UK. A lot of women love half black, half white men or light-skinned black men. Okay? But if you're a dark-skinned black man, Akon complexion, 50 Cent complexion, oh, you have a lot of enemies. You have a lot of enemies. The way women of all races look at me, brothers, as of recent, the way women of all races treat me, I'm thinking, what did I do, bruv? What is this? The way women of all races look at me, clutch their bags, hold their phone tight, look around them. I'm thinking, what? What is this? I'm human. I'm human. I'm a tech bro. What? I'm in a suit. I got a nice haircut, and you treating me like I'm nothing because I'm black? I'm tired, bruv. I'm tired of the BS, the weird looks, the animosity. Tell me how you really feel. 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 Speak on that. Just tell me how you feel. Look me in the eye and tell me how you feel, woman. Tell me. You got to tell me how you feel. Because guess what? A lot of women do that, bro, and it makes me angry. Tell me how you feel. You out here, you're looking at me like I'm a monster. You're clutching your bag. This is what this is what happens when you're powerless. This is why I wish every day I was a Black American man. I'm not saying Black America is perfect or America is perfect, but Black Americans have Ladera Heights, Prince George County. They got they got communities in Philadelphia, in New York, where I know that with my skill set, with my intellect, I can slot in amongst a smart, intelligent, wealthy Black community. We don't have that. There is no wealthy Black community in the UK. There is no Ladera Heights. There is no Ladera Heights, right, in the UK. There is no Prince George County in the UK. They ain't that here, brothers, man. There isn't. Imagine me with my intellect, with my thought process, with my skill set amongst American brothers, high value American brothers. Imagine me with Theo, but 100 different Theos. That's where I gotta be. That's where I gotta be right now, brothers. With people like Theo. It's crazy. But guess what? In England, in Wales, in Scotland, in Ireland, there is no black fields. We don't have our own fields. I want to be amongst Black American people. I want to be amongst intellectual Black American men, networking, communicating, sharing intel. Black America, right, has 20 million Black men. UK has 800,000 Black men. Come on, man. Look at the card I've been dealt. Look at the card I've been dealt. Bruv. It ain't fair, bruv. With my intellect, I don't give a damn if I don't give a damn, right, if I'm in America and people looking at me funny. I know that I'm amongst wealthy Black individuals and I have power amongst them. We all have power. I don't care, right, if people, the problem that I have is that right now I'm powerless in the UK, okay? And people treating me badly. But I'd rather get treated badly with power than not have power. You know? I want to be amongst intellectual brothers. I have been dealt a really terrible card, man. There have been days where I'm laying down on my bed, I'm looking to the sky, and I'm thinking every day, I wish I was Black American. I wish I was a Black American man. I wish I was a Black American man. Why was I dealt this card, bro? I am completely powerless in the UK. There is no community around me. There is no Ladera Heights community around me. There is no Prince George's community around me. We we- uh uh we we don't have, right, the same way in America you have male Black American male businessmen. We don't have that in the UK. We're just here. We're just there. And I'm tired, bruv. I'm tired. I'm not saying America's perfect or Black America is perfect, but there are pockets inside of the Black American community where you can meet smart, intellectual brothers. There are pockets in America where there's a community of brothers that have power, they have a network, they have connections. I don't have that, bruv. Powerless, complete powerless, bruv. That's why people can look at me funny. That's why people are crushing their hands when they see me. Because they know that there is no repercussions when you mistreat a Black British man. Damn. Being dealt a horrible card is the worst thing ever. Because I know with my intellect, with my skill set, I can be communicating with Theo every day in America. I can be communicating with Theo's network in America, etc., etc. Right? And I know there'll be a thousands other Theos that I can speak to in America. We don't even have our own Theo in the UK. It's hell. It's hell for Black men in the UK. It's hell, bruv. It's hell. It's hell for Black men in the UK, bruv. It's hell in every single area of our life in the UK. It's complete hell, bruv. It's hell. Don't let the flipping movies lie to you, bruv. This ain't no James Bond movie. This ain't no flipping Harry Potter movie, bruv. This ain't no flipping, royal family TV show. This real life, mofo. This real life, mofo. This my life we speaking on, brothers, man. This the life of Black British men we speaking on, brothers. We're going through pain here, brothers. And I know in America, brothers going through pain too. And I know in Canada, brothers going through pain too. But America, the biggest economy in the world, you can make it up in there in America, bruv. If you're an intellectual, smart brother, you can make it in America, bro. UK, we ain't got much options up in here, bro. The system against us, brothers. It ain't easy, bruv. Where can the Black man go to build power, bruv? Africa broken, Caribbean broken, America broken, UK broken. What's going on, bruv? Whereas the Asians, right, Japanese, they got America, they got Vancouver, Canada, they got Japan too. Koreans, they got Toronto, Canada, they got UK, they got South Korea. Chinese, they got China, they got America, they got every other Western country, and they got Chinatown. Arabs, they got Kuwait, they got Saudi Arabia, they got Dubai, Qatar. India got Indians. What do we as Black men have, bro? We need infrastructure. We need backing, bro. We need it, bruv. We need it, bruv. Because I'm tired, brothers, man. I'm flipping tired. I'm tired, bruv. We need that. We don't have anything. Some of y'all think it's a flipping game, bruv. Every day I think deep. I'm thinking, bruv. I'm overthinking. Because we are in a horrible spot. We ain't got no backing. We ain't got no security. We ain't got no wealth, bruv. The Chinese in America, they got China, they got Hong Kong, they got Qatar, they got flipping. What's that place called with all the gambling spots there? What's that Chinese? Oh, come on, man. They got Macau, bruv. They get money 24/7, brothers. Koreans, they got Koreatown, they got South Korea. The Arabs, they got oil-rich countries. An Arabic person in the US can go to Dubai, Qatar, make big profits over there. What do we have, bruv? I'm thinking every day, man. I'm thinking every day. It's flipping crazy up in this mofo, bruv. It's crazy. We in 2024. We in 2024. We need that first world African country, bruv. Because if we don't get that, it's over for us. And I mean that in the most sincere way possible, bruv. We need backing. We need backing. Flipping heck, bruv. Just want to smash my flipping laptop on the wall right now and just hey, say F it, bruv. Say F it, bruv. Goodness, man. This card I'm dealt with right now, I hate it, man. I hate it. With my intellect, with what I know, with how I do things, bruv, with how I think, with how I maneuver, with how I do it. I should be I should be in America, man. I should be networking. I should be at these conferences, man. I should be amongst just smart intellectual brothers, man. Flipping heck. It's crazy. This card that I'm dealt with, right? It ain't fair, bruv. With what I know, I'm not stupid, man. I ain't no fool, bruv. I study hard. I read every day. I'm constantly self-improving. I've been doing that for many years in my life, man. I'm not a flipping joke. And they ain't no backing for me or brothers all around the world. The Chinese got backing. The Koreans got backing. The Japanese got backing. The Arabs got backing. The whites got backing. Who backing the black man? Who backing the black man? No one. No one. Who backing us? Where's our backers? For example, right, if a brother had an idea for a startup, where on earth would he get funding from? Brothers don't get funded for startups. Brothers don't get funding for startups. The white man got all these companies that can fund him. The Chinese man got all these companies that can fund him. Why do you think every new startup is white CEO, Indian CEO, Chinese CEO? The game is rigged, man. The game is rigged. The game is flipping rigged. Something needs to give because listen, it is getting, we are reaching a breaking point where it's getting too much, right? It's getting too much. We've reached a point where we reached a threshold where it ain't no flipping games anymore. I'm not about to be a flipping permanent underclass. Nah, bruv. We ain't about to be a flipping permanent underclass. Something needs to give. The whole system needs to be remade again so black men can thrive, man. When will our time come? Because I've been patient, bro. We've been patient. When on earth will our time come? When? What's going on? What's going on, bruv? I'm frustrated. Every day I walk out my spot, my apartment. It's just weird looks of hatred, animosity. That they want to run upon me. That they're angry at me. They clutch their bags. They look at me funny. What the oh my goodness, man. And being dark skinned too, being dark skinned too, right, makes it even worse. Because when you're a dark skinned black man, you're an enemy to a lot of people. Now, if I was a Chris Brown complexion, right? If I was a Chris Brown complexion, I think my experience would be a lot more easier. But when you're a dark skinned brother, yeah, he ain't gonna be sweet. He ain't gonna be sweet. When you have power, right? People don't mess with you. It's crazy. Yep, they love that Jude Bellingham type of look. If I was like Jude Bellingham, guarantee you they wouldn't mistreat me like this, man. I know how the game is played in the UK. It's black men. Okay, it's white men at the top, then white women, then Asians, then East Asians, then whatever comes after them, then black women, and then black men at the bottom. No one is taking a chance on black men in the UK. Look at the corporate pictures, right? You always see one black dude, but you see an abundance of black women, whites, Asians, etc., etc. They're doing it on purpose. They're doing it on purpose. They are doing it on purpose. They're locking black men out in every society. I'm gonna speak on what I see, bruv. I'm gonna speak on what I see, what I observe. And I also want to get Canadian brothers to speak about their experience in Canada. Because what I'm going through in the UK, apparently Canadian brothers go through it too. If you're Canadian, reach out to me on IG, man. Because I heard that y'all going through hell in Canada, right? And if you're American, reach out to me on IG. Let me know what's happening in America, in the UK, in Canada. Tell me your stories, man. Let's do streams about what black men go through in the West. Tell me. Reach out to me on IG. American brothers, Canadian brothers, Australian brothers, African brothers, Caribbean brothers. Tell me the black experience in your country, bruv. Because I'm here in Canada, but particularly in Toronto, the way black men get treated there is hell. It's funny how Canada is also a UK Commonwealth country. You need to understand that black men ain't loved in the UK. We're not appreciated. We're not accepted. We're not embraced. They only love us, right? They only love us when football, soccer comes around. That's the only time when they love us. After soccer finishes, then it's back to hating black men 24/7. I've noticed that. I've noticed that. They only love us when soccer comes around. It's crazy, bruv. Sports, NBA, soccer, that's the only time where they'll show you some love. Oh, can I get a picture with you? Oh, LeBron is my favorite player, blah, blah, blah. But think about the ordinary black man, the average black man. Some of y'all need to remember that average black men exist. No black men play soccer. We all don't play soccer, right? A lot of black men are working blue collar jobs, you know, white collar working jobs, not just not playing soccer. You know, think about the life of average black men. Imagine if you're a black man, right? Okay, imagine if you're a black man, okay, and you're 5'5", you're dark skinned, okay, and you don't hit the gym. Imagine what that type of black man goes through in the West. I'm being serious, right? Imagine what 5'4", dark skinned, right? Skinny black dudes go through, even musky black dudes go through. Imagine what they go through in the West. Imagine. Imagine, brothers. You know, imagine what 5'3", 5'2" black dudes go through. That's it, brothers. That should tell you everything. That should tell you everything. Let me read your super chats. Let's open up the phone lines. Shout out to Mr. Wobbed Up for the support. If you're planning on relocating to the US, let me know. I'll tell you the wealthy black neighborhoods that you should be moving to. Reach out to me on IG, Wobbed Up, please. I need that intel because right now, I think America needs me. I need America. America needs me, and I need America because I gotta be amongst high value intellectual men. I gotta be amongst high value IT tech bros, man. Right? I want to be amongst brothers, networking, building. I can't do it anymore in the UK, brothers, man. I can't. I can't, man. I'm tired because I want to be in Ladera Heights, Prince County, networking with high value black men. I'm sick of the matrix. Shout out to the Jughead one for the support. Correct IP. I get the same evil looks from non-black men all the time. I return the stare with equal venom. I will not be intimidated by anyone. Facts, bro. I was on the bus yesterday. White dude looks at me in a very weird way. I look him back. I was ready for the smoke because if he swung, I would have swung too, bruv. I was ready for the smoke. I was even eating too, but I would have thrown my food on the floor. I would have swung back too, bruv. I don't care anymore. You ain't gonna run upon me, bruv. You're not gonna run upon me, bruv. Nah, bruv. I will protect myself. I ain't no punk. I ain't no fool. I ain't no idiot. You're not gonna run upon me, bruv. You're not. Because it feels like one of these days, some of them are looking to run up on a brother and do something crazy. It won't be me, bruv. It won't be me. Shout out to Jay Bones for the support. They were waiting for an excuse to attack black men. Facts, bro. Facts. They don't like us here. They don't like us. They only like us when we're playing soccer. All right. Shout out to Jughead for the support. Appreciate you, bro. I intend to move to Canada next year before I relocate to Nigeria over the next 5 years. If I stay here in the UK, I will end up in oh wow, damn, bro. Canada. I'm not sure about Canada, bro. If Toronto's looking like it's a myth, I'm hearing that black men. If you're from Toronto, type of one in the chat. I'm hearing that black men are going through hell in Toronto. What I'm going through in the UK, I'm hearing that black men are also going through it. Type of one in the chat, okay? If you're going through that. Shout out to Jay Bones for the support. Appreciate you, bro. He says here, they've been looking for an excuse to attack black men. Yep. Shout out to Jughead for the support. Don't worry, IP. We passport bros will have the last laugh. When the BRIC nations get ahead with their agenda in a few years, the UK and the West. I hope so, bro, man. I'm rooting for Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger, man. I really am. Because we need something to just do something that's left field. Because the way it is right now in the West, I'm tired, bro. Shout out to Jughead for the support. Decimated passport bros living in Dubai, Qatar, Asia will be balling, and all the scum giving us the evils will be living in poverty, love, and respect. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Salute you, brother. Appreciate you, bro. Shout out to Austin Holman in the building. Shout out to you, Austin. You could have broadcasted this on my live stream. Everyone would have talked about it, but you didn't. Okay. Interesting. Shout out to Austin again for the support. All you gotta do is call in. Don't make no excuses. Listen, I'm not on YouTube 24/7. So if I'm not on YouTube 24/7, I don't know when you're live, bruv. It is what it is. Shout out to Pooh for the support. It's been long enough. You know your options by now. So are you leaving or not? That's what it comes down to. What's the move? It can't just be a bunch of hot talk exercise your right to bounce country to country. I got things planned, Pooh. Don't worry, I've got things planned. But while I'm still in the Matrix, I'm unfortunately going through hell as our other brothers too. But things are being planned. Don't worry, bro. Things are being planned. Shout out to Global Free Agent for the support. Work 100% remote in the US, but don't bother. Facts, bro. Facts. Anyone that has links with US stuff, reach out to my IG because I gotta get out of this Matrix, man. I gotta be in the Dera Heights in Prince George County with brothers, man. You know, with high value brothers, networking, communicating, IT, tech. You know, let's do it, bruv. You know, let's do it. Okay, so let me all right, let me open up the phone lines. Please no swearing, right? No N-word use when you call in. Keep it respectful. No disrespect, no crazy talk, none of that. Okay? Or I'll take you out the stream. Okay, please. Let's keep it very cordial. No crazy talk. Could YouTube acts up? Please. All right. No swearing, no N-word use, no crazy talk, and keep it respectful. You can agree, you can disagree with me, that's cool, but keep it respectful, please. Okay? All right. Let me open up the phone lines, okay? Present, invite. All right. Okay. Chino, don't call in Chino if we're gonna talk crazy, because the moment you open that mouth, I'm gonna block you, bruv, and I mean that. Don't talk crazy. Don't do it. Just don't do it, bruv. Okay? The moment you do so, you can hit that ban hammer. Don't do it, please. Just keep it respectful. Brian, can you turn your camera on the background so I know you're not a troll? Yeah, you're good, Brian. Thank you, bro. You're good. Let me bring in Brian in the background. Brian, you're good, bro. Let me bring in Brian in the background. Okay. What's going on, Brian? How you doing, bruv? Brian, you good? Can you brothers hear Brian? Okay, hold on. Let me bring in Brian in the back. Brian, you good, bro? Let me bring in Brian in the background. What's going on, Brian? Brian, I can't hear you. Okay. Can we avoid saying the N-word in the live stream chat? No N-word use, no ninja use, all that stuff. I don't get it, bro. Just keep it. You ain't gotta be saying the N-word like that. Keep it respectful, right? Remember, the N-word is a word that's banned on this channel. We are not saying slurs on this channel. Okay. Let me bring in Brian in the background. What's going on, Brian?
How's it going, IP? Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, bro. You good?
Yeah, brother. How's it been?
I mean, a bit shaky, bro. In the last couple of days after the riot, you know, I'm feeling a bit uneasy, bro. I'll keep it real with you. The looks, the passive aggressiveness, the microaggressions, it's getting real hot, bro. And you know, we as British black men are going through hell right now, Brian. I can't even explain the amount of hell we're going through right now, bro, in the UK.
Yeah, brother, I'm sorry to hear that. I can feel your pain, to be honest, and it's unfortunate to see. But I'm glad that you have a platform where you can, one, express these things for yourself, but two, also let other brothers around know what's happening over there in your experience. My I have a you said a lot, you addressed a lot, but I firstly wanted to start with um, the fact that the Premier League is just started this weekend, and I'm trying to understand how are these things going on and have been going on for weeks, but that's not like a topic that gets addressed at all, and that like the games just still continue. Like,
I think
are black people currently not going to the matches because it's not safe to be in like environments like that, or can you give any perspective on that?
black people don't go to any Premier League matches, bro. There's a lot of racism in these crowds there in these Premier League matches. Um, you know, like I mentioned, they only love a brother when he's shooting ball, kicking ball, right? When he's scoring goals, that they only love a brother when it's that. But when it comes to the things that matter, what we actually go through, mental health, what we go through in terms of lack of promotions in the workplace, getting weird looks, they won't speak about that. Life is literally hell for brothers in the UK. But if it's just soccer, right? Watching soccer or playing soccer, as long as a black man's doing that, he's good in their books. But if you mess up, if you miss a penalty, if you have a bad game, you're gonna see racists all over social media come for that brother. It's hell for brothers here, man. It's not tea crumpets, honey and tea. It's hell, bruv.
Yeah. So do you have to go? There's one other thing I wanted to comment on as well. So um, that Austin Holloman um donated super chat person, I don't think he's the real person because he doesn't have a verified check when he's donating. So I know he's
Ah,
donated a few times, and I actually watched because I follow Austin as well. I watched one of his live streams, and someone had commented, someone that he was doing a live stream had commented like, "Oh, I was on IP's stream and you were talking about this," and he was like, "I didn't send any super chats to anybody." And then he was saying like, if it doesn't have the verified check, it's not me. So that's just something I wanted you to be aware of. I know some people are saying it in the chat as well, but I just didn't want you to think that like he was saying certain things when that's not even him.
good spot. Thank you very much for letting me know. Thank you.
No doubt. But but yeah, so like this has been going on now, right? What what is your, I guess, next 3 years look like? Are you looking to get out within the next 3 years, within the next 5 years? Do you kind of have a a plan in place as far as duration of time, or is that something that's more so in the works?
Yeah, I say it's in the works, bro. I can't give too much details right now, but
Of
it's in the
course.
works.
Brief
You know,
on a very like a macro high level.
yeah. It's in the works, bro. I think it's gonna get really bad for brothers in the UK. Yeah, I think we're really behind in terms of where Black Americans are right now in America. Now, the strides that Black Americans have made, right, over the past um, several years has been incredible, right? Still some work to be done, but it's a lot more. When we look at the wealth of Black Americans compared to UK Black Brits, right? Black Americans dwarf that, so they're making strides, right, bit by bit. Um, Bear in mind that we don't have, um, you know, what Black Americans have in the UK. We don't have these networks. We don't have these trade networks or trade unions. We don't have these black conferences for tech or whatever like you see in America. I mean, Phil's doing a Miners for Conclave in America. That's not happening in the UK, right? Um, so it's 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 pain over here for brothers, man. It really is. Um, I'd also bring we have very small numbers here. There's only a couple thousand brothers, right, in the UK, compared to millions of Black Americans. There's no Ladera Heights. There's no Prince George County. There's not obviously, in America there's a big population of Black people working government jobs, right? They get paid well, got a lot of protections. We don't have that in the UK. Oh, bruv.
Yeah, but so this is all really interesting to me as well because I'm first generation, born in New York. My family moved from East Africa in the '90s to the States, and I always thought that the Black experience in the UK was better because most of the Black people there, whether they're from the Caribbean or from Africa, they're closer removed from wherever they're originally from, so they have a more sense of identity and culture and community. And that's something that I always felt was kind of lacking here in the States, especially for, like, historically, um, if you're like not Black from like descendants of slaves, then there's usually a separation between Africans and those and that demographic of like American Blacks and like Caribbeans and the same. So like we don't congregate together to build and empower each other. We kind of look at each other as like different groups, even though white people just look at us as all as being Black. So I thought that that was kind of a different, in the UK, but I mean, like, and I always, as a result of that too, I've always been like, man, I want to, experience like being around like a large group of other Black people who are like more closer to like their motherland roots, and like how empowering that'll be with the networking and everything. But it sounds like that's not really how things are over there.
Okay, let me share my screen real quick. Shout out to Conrad for the support. Much appreciated, bro. IP, there's a lot of madness going on in the UK. Very sad. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Let me share my screen, right, to show you just how terrible the situation is for brothers in the UK. Okay. So there's an article here by Amnesty UK, right, that speaks about institutional racism. Now, in America, there's also institutional racism. Okay. Now, there's also institutional racism in the UK. However, we have a much smaller number in the UK. If it's a much smaller number, it's going to impact you a lot more because you don't have the voices to actually speak up against it. Whereas if you're racist to millions of people, it will still happen, but those people have a larger voice to call it out, condemn it. Okay, we don't have that. So let me just share my screen. Okay, hold on. Let me see here. Okay, present, share screen, share screen, share screen over here. Okay, so you can see here, right? Here's an article by Amnesty International UK. Failure to tackle institutional racism is root cause of racist violence unfolding on the streets. Okay, look at that. So let me tell you just how terrible life is for Black people in the UK. Okay, there's a 4-year stagnation on the disparities facing. I hate that term, people of color facing Black people across the criminal justice system, health, education, employment, and immigration. Okay, there's been an alarming 10-year. Put yourself on mute, Brian, real quick, please. I'm hearing background noise. There's an alarming 10-year increase in faith-based hate crimes. 40. Well, what is that noise? Let me put you on mute there, Brian, because I'm hearing background noise. So you can see here, right? 47% of children of color are living in poverty compared to 24% of white children. Brothers, you're seeing stats here. Remember, men lie, women lie, but numbers don't lie. Police are 6.5% more likely to strip search Black children and 4.7 times likely to strip search Black adults than their white counterparts. Toxic and dehumanizing language used by politicians describe black people. Y'all think it's a game over here in the UK. It's hell for black people in the UK. It's hell for black men. Let's break it down even further, okay? So let's see over here. So it says here, under joint enterprise, black people are 16 times more likely to be prosecuted and Asian people 4 times more likely to be prosecuted. I want to drill down a lot more on joint enterprise because this here, right, has a lot of people in the black community shook to the point where my parents were so scared, right, of me having many friends. Even other black parents that I knew were so scared of their children having many friends because it just takes one bad friend to do something stupid. And then, even though you're innocent, they will catch you under joint enterprise. So, think of joint enterprise as the equivalent of the USA RICO Act. The RICO Act, right? A case where you will get hit with a crazy case. Okay. This is how they destroy the lives of black people. That's why a lot of black people, right, are on the edge. Is that person a good person? Is that person a bad person? Because if it's a bad person, right, even though you're good, you might get hit with a joint enterprise, even though you did nothing wrong, right? But you were with that person and you had no idea that person was going to do something bad. So that keeps you on the edge. That can make you have less friends. That can keep you lonely. Do you get what we're going through here, brothers? The law is against us, bruv. The law is against us. Black people, right? 19% are at least twice as likely to be in insecure work compared to white people, 9.6%. Flipping heck, bruv. Flipping heck. More likely has to be. Let's see here. Any more women of 3 times? Okay. Any more black problems here? Let's see here. Okay. So let's see. There is a 26-year difference in life expectancy between white people and people of color with and black people with profound and multiple learning disabilities. Okay, there you go. Okay, wow. So it says it here, right? The submission shows the ways in which disparities facing black people across the criminal justice system, health, education, employment, and immigration have sustained since the previous reporting period 4 years ago. So nothing has changed within 4 years. Okay. Failure to improve outcomes for black people while attacking the ways in which these communities dissent leads to an impossible situation for them, targeted by prevents, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So you're seeing this, bruv. Okay, I disagree with that. Ban the use of rap and music in prosecutions as a recommendation. No, I think rap music and some of it is just detrimental to the black mind, but that'd be for a different discussion. Okay, so you see what we're going through in the UK, man. Black people going through hell. The racist violence unfolding on the streets of the UK highlight the failures of successive governments to make progress on institutional racism. Okay, remember, if you're a small population in a big country and you're going through systemic racism, it's going to impact you pretty heavily compared to a larger population. We are a very small population in the UK. We're powerless. We're powerless. We are extremely, extremely powerless. Y'all don't get it, man. Y'all don't get it. That UK Black, can you turn your camera on in the background? Jam, can you turn your camera on in the background so I know you're not a troll before I bring you on? Jam, you're confirmed. Turn your camera off. That's good. Turn your camera off. UK Black, can you turn your camera on so I know you are not a troll in the background? I can't see your skin. Yep. Oh, wait, hold on. Wait, is that a brother? Wait. UK Black, I can't. Okay, let me see. Yeah, you good. Okay, turn your camera off. Let me bring in UK Black in the background. Okay. No, what do you mean stop using words like powerless? You know, why is it that a lot of black people love coping, bruv? We're powerless. We're powerless. Stop it. We are powerless, bruv. I don't get it. I don't get why y'all get all iffy when I speak the truth. We powerless. We have no power. Stop coping, bruv. Get off that cope serum. We powerless, bruv. I don't give a damn what anyone says. We ain't got no power. We love to cope. Oh, with the tallest, blah blah blah. I don't give a damn, bro. It don't matter in the grand scheme of things. We powerless. What do black men have on a global political scale? The Japanese man got Sony and Nintendo. The white man got Microsoft and Facebook and Tesla. Okay? The Indian man is a CEO of Google and Microsoft and runs big IT companies. The Chinese man got TikTok, right? And all these other companies. What do we have as black men? Are you out here talking about, don't talk about us being powerless? We powerless, bro. Show me a product that black men export all around the world. Nothing. This South Koreans got Samsung and Hyundai. Get out of here, bruv. I'm tired of the coping, bruv. Always flipping coping as brothers, man. Always flipping coping as brothers every single time, bruv. Cope. Tired of it, bruv. You got beats. Raven Star, are you being disrespectful right now? We got beats. Yo, keep it respectful, bruv. Keep it respectful, Raven Star. I'm talking about corporations, and you are talking about beats, music beats, bro. You talk crazy one more time, I might just ban you off the flipping channel, bro. Keep it respectful. Let me bring in UK Black in the background. Let's go, bruv. What's going on, UK Black? You good?
Hi, yeah, you okay?
I'm all right, bruv. How about you, man?
Yeah, man, I'm UK Black from Liverpool, and the situation started in Southport, which is 30 miles, about 20 miles away from Liverpool. So we feel the full brunt of it. You know,
Mm.
there were race riots in Southport, well, kind of race riots in Southport, so-called race riots in Liverpool. Yeah, the stuff's gone crazy, man.
Bro,
It's gone
your
crazy.
audio's a bit jacked up, bro. You need to fix it, bruv.
Oh,
Put some headphones in, but you sounding like a 1970s TV show right there, bro. Fix that audio, please. Okay, I'm gonna put you on mute there. Hold on, bro. Gene, can you turn your camera on in the background so I know you're not a troll. Let me bring in Jam in the background while you're still there. Gina, I can't see. Are you a brother? You are a brother. Thank you, Gene. Turn your camera off. Let me bring in Gene. Let me bring in Jam as well in the background. Gene, how you doing, bro?
I'm doing well, my brother. How are you?
I'm all right, man. I'm all right, brother. Fire away, Gene.
Um, well, so I didn't get to see the topic, but I've been following you for a while, man. I was in Japan, married to a Japanese chick, but then I got divorced and all that shit. I don't know if you remember it, but it was a long
I
time
remember
ago.
you, bro. You were in the Philippines recently, right?
Yes, sir. You have a great memory, by the way.
Yes, bro. We need
Very
to
good
catch up. I
memory.
remember that voice, bro. I remember that voice. Hope you're well, bruv.
Yes, man. Likewise. You guys were on the topic of what do black people own globally? And I want to sort of challenge you because we own all all the minerals, all the resources. The problem is that we don't actually control them. And the reason why is because there's a few people at the top that control all the resources. We have the largest reserves of cobalt in the Congo, iridium in Haiti, cocoa in Ghana, you name it. The world benefits from Africa. And by the way, China and Russia are propping up their economies and creating this BRICS system based on gold and silver. Well, hold on, where are they getting this gold from? They're getting it from Africa. So the same thing that the Europeans and the Americans did back in the day is the exact same thing that the Chinese and the Russians are doing. I understand, yes, we don't have Microsoft, we don't have this. But at the end of the day, we have the minerals, the base minerals that keeps AI and the internet going. You understand? So I think we need to focus more on controlling these minerals. Now, as far as the UK, I don't know what's going on in the UK. I just hear about some riots going on, some race riots. But at the end of the day, like, I don't know if it's probably not going to be in our lifetimes, but 100, 200, 300 years from now, we have to take Africa seriously. We really do. And that's just my opinion. And that's just me coming from like an American standpoint. I was born in America, raised in America, never been to Africa, never been to the country where my parents are from. That's sad, bro. Very sad. So the mentality just needs to change amongst Black people globally. Because we're the global majority. We're the global majority in this world. Everywhere you go, you have the Dravidians in India, Black. You have Papua New Guineans, Black.
Are you a foundational Black American?
I'm sorry?
Are you
Hold on there, UK. Let Gene finish his point first. Hold on.
No. I was just saying, everywhere you go in the world, Black. Papua New Guinea, Black. And actually, I love the Philippines. The original Filipinos are the Ita tribe. And the Ita tribe, listen, they say genetically they're different from Africans, but guess what? They look Black to me. With kinky hair and all that, Black skin and all that in the Philippines, so there's like two separate realities that we're living in. We're living in like the whitewashed reality and the true reality. And that's just all I have to say. You asked if I was a foundational Black American. No, sir. My parents are from Haiti.
Okay, thank you, Gene. Let me go to Jam. Okay, fire away, Jam.
Hey, IP. Hey, Kakadeska. No, but anyway, I started learning a little bit. Just wanted to use a little bit of the Japanese because I know that you speak a little Japanese. But yeah, I caught your stream early this time, right while I was studying. So I did listen to pretty much all of it. And yeah, I don't know how it's like in the UK. I mean, I have family in the UK, but I haven't been there in a really long time. So at least from what I've heard from you, it sounds like it's worse in the US. But I do think that you might be confusing, right, some of the things that you perceive as racism with just kind of the way things are moving nowadays, right? Like, for example, like you were talking about your experience with the men and the women. Yeah, I've had a lot of the same experience with the men that you talked about, but I personally haven't had that experience with the women here in America or even otherwise. And I just think that with the women overall, it's just I'm starting to notice this with people of all groups. But of course, like I kind of look at the Black community as a canary in the coal mine, right? Like in other words, we see it first, and then society as a whole goes for kind of follows that trend, right? To give an example, right? We had the single mother epidemic, right, within the Black community, at least in the U.S. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it's similar in the UK, but yeah, I don't know the dates, right? I'm American. But yeah, so we had that in the 90s, and we were known for that. And now you're seeing the trends, right, spread outward. Like I think it's over 40% of Caucasians, right, are born out of wedlock, right? So, I say that to say that when you're talking about the women, right, I think what it is, right, and I strongly believe this actually, is that the women, they just don't care if you're an average man. Like in order to get respect amongst women, you have to be well above average. And if you're not above average in bank account, and when I say above average, I don't even mean like making what we're making. I mean like you have to be able to retire the girl and give her what she wants financially. So when I say above average, I don't even mean making like 150,000, right? US. Like most people consider that, or at least most men consider that good money, but that doesn't really mean anything to a chick, right? She wants to be making 250K, 200 plus, where she don't have to work, and she can get the designer goods and all that stuff, right? That she wants. I'm talking about feel money here. You know what I mean? And if you don't have that, then your number one thing is going to be your looks, and that's just that's just the truth of it. That's the reason why you hear the whole 666 and all the stuff like that, because the women don't need us from a financial standpoint, right? They have the government in order to siphon money from all men, so they don't need one man. So men is really more seen as a luxury item, right? Unless you can provide more than they can provide for themselves. And thus, if that's the case, then they're just going to go for the top dudes, right? What we call the Pookie, the Ray Rays, the Chad and Tyrones. That's what they're going to go after. That's the reason why I'm like, if you're in the U.S. or you're in the West, the number one thing you should be doing, right, is focusing on your looks. I think of that more than anything else. I mean, of course, you should be studying and doing all that stuff. You know me, or I'm engineer by trade, learning languages as we speak, right? I'm doing that. But if you want to see your life improve drastically the quickest, you have to improve your looks, because that's what the women judge men nowadays. And the only way they'll forgive your looks is if you're making essentially top 1-2% income.
Okay. Thank you, Jem. Mr. UK Black, do you want to speak about how you're feeling as a black man in the UK right now? Obviously, but with no swearing, please keep it PG and no crazy talk.
No, I think Jay is sort of going away from the point of what you were saying about life as a black man in the UK. I think it's totally different from America. I think, as you say, there's a lot more black people in America. There's less black people in Britain. Every single area where black people live in Britain is always the poorest area of town. You know, that international passport, we can go to Lambeth, we can go to Toxteth, we can go to Handsworth, Moss Side, they're all poor. They all have the worst social housing. They're all the least invested areas, you know? And I can understand your point of view, but what you have to realize is about racism is not personal. Racism is all about trying to break your spirit. The reason I'm here, the reason you're here is because my parents in the 60s and in the 70s and the 80s, they went through some real racism. So, just imagine if they had the mentality that you're starting to have, which is this negativity, which is this defeatism, which is this feeling of worthlessness, breaking your spirit. Don't let them get to you, man. Maybe because I'm a bit older, I'm bloody 38 and going to be 40 in a couple of years. So, maybe I think differently, but listen, I'm not going nowhere, man. Even though my roots are in Nigeria, I'm staying. It's sad I've never been to Nigeria, but I'm not going nowhere. They're not gonna. I went to school with the National Front. I went to school with Combat 18 and all these white Aryan groups. They don't scare me. Don't scare me one bit. If they would have came to Liverpool, Toxteth, which is the black area, they would have had a very bad day. Because if they would have started any bullshit around there, we would have responded with maximum retaliation. And that's how you gotta treat them. And I'm not talking like I'm some big tough guy. I'm not. But don't let them get to you, bro. Seriously, don't let them get to you, man. That's all I want to say.
Yo, thank you, bro. Please avoid swearing, please. But let me ask this right. So, life as a black man in the UK, bro, like people believe it's all tea and crumpets over here. People believe it, it's all we do is watch James Bond movies, Harry Potter TV shows, and all that nonsense. Can you let them know that black men in the UK are really suffering economically? No power. Our own women don't even like us. Being black in the UK is literally hell. And it can destroy you mentally if you're not tough. Do you want to speak about that, UK Black?
It's tough, but I don't want to get into some oppression Olympics about who's got it worse. Black men in America got it worse. They've got if anything, you could argue that black men in America have had it worse. They're in America. They're facing the most powerful military on earth. And they've went toe-to-toe against them, even though they are outnumbered, even though they are outgunned, and even though they are outmanned as well. But they said, hell no, we're not backing down to this. So, the same dog that bites people in America is the same dog that bites people in Britain. We're just all getting bitten by the same dog. But as for the UK, it's tough for black people. You know, we're living in the mud. We haven't got a biscuit. We don't own nothing. You know, all we've got is, what have we got? Sports, football, athletics. The Olympics was just on. Outside of that, it's sad, but you know, what have we got? And what you say about our women not respecting us, you know what I'm seeing in Liverpool? I'm seeing a lot of black women with white men. And as far as mixed race women go, forget about it. Forget about being a black man and trying to get a biracial woman, because they're just 100% white men. You've got to be Anthony Joshua to have a choice. You got to be Anthony Joshua. Simple as that. To have a real choice of women, you got to be special. So, yeah, that's all I want to say on that.
What about your experience in dating, or trying, maybe your experience with Indian women and East Asian women, of Japanese, Korean, and Chinese who were born in the UK, and how they treat us in the UK, brother, which is terrible. Break it down.
I went into a bank on Saturday. This happens to me every day, and here's me. I'm a big Green Mile black man. I was just standing at the queue, and the white woman behind the counter was looking at everybody. She was like, "Can I help you, sir? Can I help you, sir?" Then she sees me and she looks at me and she says, "Who's next?"
Oh.
Like, I don't want to give you that level of respect. And another little microaggression happened to me earlier, because I'm living in social housing, so I've got a problem with my house, and I went to the receptionist, and I thought to myself, okay, I'll try and make a little bit of banter. And says, you know, the weather's improving now. To the woman behind the counter, do you know what she says to me? She says, "I'm married." That's what she says. And I'm thinking to myself, I wasn't even trying to go there, but it's just that daily grind of just, you know, people always underestimating you. People think that you're gonna somehow attack them. It gets you. But as I say, they will never break my spirit. They will never ever get to me, because I know that my mum, who came over here in the 60s, worked as a nurse for the NHS, where, you know, even though she was a qualified nurse, they made her clean the toilets. Nobody wanted to sit next to her. Some of the white patients didn't want to be served by her. I know that she went through absolute hell. So that's the reason why I'm here, and I'm pretty sure the same is for you. I don't know how old you are, but I'm pretty sure if you were to speak to your mother or your grandparents, they'll tell you some shocking stories about what life was like for black people in the 60s and 70s. So yeah, it's England is bad. England is bad. But the problem with England, it's kind of like, it's a funny type of racism, because nobody's going to call you the N-word. Nobody's going to say, "Oh, go back to Africa." It's very, very systematic in England. You can only go a certain level. And as you say, you made a very good point about talking about Asians and Arabs. They're just as racist. They're just as racist as many white racists. That's what I've found in my life experience. I haven't found any difference. I don't know what you, but I know you probably agree. I mean, I don't know what the guys in America below think. Much, you know, that's all I want to say on that.
I agree. I definitely agree there. You're right. But do you want to speak about the racism you've experienced by non-white people, and also I definitely want to know about Indian women and East Asian women. And you're in Liverpool, right? I'm guessing they're not even thinking about dating a black man, and they're in Liverpool, particularly Chinese, Japanese, Koreans who are born in the UK. Want to know about that, bro?
In Liverpool, it's like in other cities. You have the Chinese; they have a Chinatown. The Indians, they own all the mobile phone shops. The Arabs, they've got their economy. Black people who've been in Liverpool for nearly 200 years, 250 years, just own nothing. The only time you see a black man working in Liverpool is the stereotypical black guy, the bouncer, the security guard. And even that's racism when you think about it. No, the fact that we always see black security guards in the Aldi and the Tesco's, that is racism. Because what they really saying is, oh no, you're big and black, and you guys are kind of ugly anyway. So yeah, you can work as a bouncer, you can work as a security guard, and obviously you see young black African guys riding bikes for Uber Eats and Deliveroo. That's the only time you really see a black man working. That's one of the reasons why when I first went to London, when I first went to London about 20 years ago, I was surprised. I saw black people or black men driving BT vans. I saw black people, as site managers on building sites. It was different. Liverpool is a very, very racist country. It's a very, very racist part of the UK. I think the north is way more racist than the south. I don't know what you think. I think it's a little bit more multicultural down London, a little bit more north, and still got a way to go. That's just my opinion.
Brother, tell me the racism you felt from Indians, Arabs, and Asians back in your end. Or what kind of racism have you felt?
It's just general day-to-day microaggressions. That's what it is. But don't forget, Indians, they're not really balling out as much as what people think. They're not really in charge of the hiring and firing of most companies. Same with the Chinese. But the Indians, in my opinion, put this way, if I was to date an Indian woman, good luck on me trying to meet her father. If I was to date a Chinese woman, I reckon a lot of the time they'd be threatened with being kicked out their family. That's what I think. And one more thing, you only need to look at how black people are treated in India and China itself. So yeah.
You say something, Gene? Of course.
Yeah. Can I make a comment on that? As far as the Indian thing is concerned, well, okay, so talking about immigration in general, when you talk about these white countries, whether it's UK, and I'm not from the UK, I'm from America, but you're talking about the UK, America, the Western countries, they're sort of similar in this way. When they bring people into the country, they bring people for a specific purpose. So of course they need immigration. Number one, white countries need immigration because without other people, they just fail as a country. They die. So they need cheap labor all the time. But also what's interesting to me is that the people who are perpetuating the white racism are the people in India. For example, in India, the North Indians and the South Indians don't like each other. Okay. And on average, the South Indians are actually darker skinned than the North Indians. You can look this up yourself if you don't believe me. Yeah. So in America, when you ask, hey, like an Indian, where are they from? Most of the time they're saying that they're from North India. Yeah, there are South Indians here in America, but most of the time they're from North India. What America does is that they bring people into their country that sympathize with white racism. I'll give another example. Dominicans is a small island. It's Haiti and the Dominican Republic, but the whole island is called Haiti. So Dominicans, most of the Dominicans that people see in America are light skinned, but when you actually go to the Dominican Republic, 90%, or I would say maybe 85% of the people are Black African. So what does that mean? That means that a small minority are gaining access to the resources that are in America. They're getting access to the visas, and the Black majority, they don't gain the access to those visas and to those resources. So America and UK and these countries, they do things for a specific purpose, bro. And I think that we haven't even scratched the surface when it comes to this, man.
Yeah, I agree. Good point.
That's a great point there. You want to say something, Brian?
Yeah, I was gonna jump in. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Great.
Sorry, Brian. Before you go on that, a good point on UK Black. So when you come in the UK, right, when you go to the grocery stores, when you go to the pub, the clubs, there's always a Black male bouncer.
Yeah,
I've noticed that UK Black,
yeah,
and that is racism in itself. It's that they're telling you that this is all you're good for, being
yeah,
strong and fighting people. I've noticed that, bro.
yeah,
There's always a black male bouncer outside the pub, outside the club, outside a whatever. What's going on there? You've noticed that, right?
yeah. Because as I say, it's the mentality. You're a big black guy, and you guys look ugly. So yes, you can work as a bouncer. I don't want to say something about immigration. These people, these far right guys as well, who are complaining about immigration. The reason why migrants come to the UK is because of the very same system that these people are supporting. If they didn't go into Africa, I mean, let's get real deep. If they didn't go into these African countries and screw them over and make them economically unstable, they wouldn't have a reason to migrate to Italy and France and the UK. That's the reason why people migrate. People don't migrate because they love white people so much. People migrate because of global economic disparities. That's why people migrate. So I just want to say that. But yeah, go on.
Go on there, Brian.
Yeah, no, there were just a couple things that were mentioned earlier that I didn't get a opportunity to comment on, so I wanted to do so. Because earlier, IP, you were talking about the comparison between blacks and um, other specific demographics that have a backing by their communities and even more so by their nation that they're from, and that
Mm,
blacks don't really have that. And the other brother made a comment about well, all the resources are in Africa for these different minerals and precious metals and all those things. So we do have like the possession of that, but the thing is, we don't have the equity in that. We don't own the rights to those things, even though it's our land. All of that is owned by foreign governments, foreign companies backed by those governments. So there still isn't really power there when it comes to actually controlling the rights to commercialize the natural resources that are on our land. And I mean, of course, we know that stems from colonization, but in this like contemporary age, it's just neocolonialism done legally through, again, foreign investment from multinational companies, foreign governments, military intervention, creating destabilization in a bunch of different countries that we have social, political, and socioeconomic interest in, backing or supporting coup d'états with like rebel groups if someone's in power who doesn't fulfill or agree with our interests. So I just wanted to make that point clear that although we do have those resources on our land, we don't have the ownership of it. The same goes with, most of the things that black wealthy people in the States, how they create their wealth. It's usually through some form of entertainment, whether we look at, and I'm talking about the top echelon, like
Mm.
entertainment, whether it's sports, comedy, acting, um, music, but
Mm.
even all of those things, they're being paid by white European people who are making billions and are cutting them a piece because of how much money they're making them. We
But
don't own we don't own the record
Uh,
labels. We don't
I'm,
own the NBA teams. We don't own the NFL teams. So
but you're getting. But do
I'll
black
have to push back on that. I have
do
to
black
push
sorry,
back. I'm sorry.
hold on. Go on, UK Black.
do black people really want to own stuff? Because anytime Dr. Dre owned his headphones, he sold them. Jay-Z owned something, he sold them. Versus that was sold as well. Anytime black people get into a certain position, they always seem to want to sell it off. That's what I've noticed anyway. I'm
and that's why we see that the black community in the States is still ultimately at the bottom because we don't create a system and infrastructure to lift up our group as a people and create our own foundations that we need, that we don't have to be reliant on other groups unless if we're making money off of them. We get it for ourselves, and we isolate into those communities where there's more money that can be made, but people who don't look like us, and the system just perpetuates itself.
Hold on. Priscilla, will you call in? Priscilla Bailey, will you call in? Definitely want to hear your thoughts on this. As you're a woman, do you want to call in? I'm guessing you're from the UK too, so why don't you call in? That'd be great. Gene, you want to say something, Gene?
Yes, sir. I have to push back on what my brother said over here. I don't know his name. It just says a B in the front, but
Brian.
oh, Brian. But I have to push back a little bit. Um, Resources in terms of like control of the resources. Okay, the way I look at black people is that black people are just asleep. We're just sleeping, and we're trying to make it work in a system that's not meant for us, in my opinion. And when it comes to resources, this whole earth was given to us by God, higher power. You know, it doesn't matter what religion you believe in. You don't have to believe in. There is a higher power, and this earth was given to us by God. And it just so happens that black people were given most of the resources of this earth. It's just that we are trying to function in a system that is not ours. Because in our system, for example, in the country like Haiti, in Haiti, people know how to do things with very little. They live off of the land. You always hear news about Haiti, how there's gang violence. People are eating well, drinking well, outside of the capital where all the violence is happening. People are eating well, drinking well, herbal medicine. During COVID, not one vaccine was administered, and they had 0 cases of COVID in Haiti. And the president of Haiti got assassinated because he didn't want to give vaccine.
Whoa, okay. All right. Sorry, Gene. We can't get too deep on that, man. I'm sorry. No sea talk. All right. Okay. How about we keep it on the British stuff? All right. Let's keep it on the English stuff. Okay. So, can we get some more UK callers in? I'm gonna drop you off there, Gene. Okay. I just don't want to get too deep on that. Okay. All right. Brian, anything about UK at all?
Yeah, when you say about UK specifically in terms of you're saying the black man's experience there or the riots in particular, or I just want to make sure I'm staying relevant and on topic.
Yeah, so it's just the black man's experience. We got another UK here called UK Black who's definitely experiencing the same thing as me. So I know I'm not going crazy. I know I'm not bugging out. Something's really changed with UK Black. You would agree something's changed. It's been here, right? It's on the surface, but it's becoming more out there open in terms of the microaggressions, the looks,
Yeah,
what they're saying. Do you agree, BK Black?
I agree 100% with you. I think in the UK, as long as we know our place, as long as we're at the bottom, they're happy. And the thing is, do you know about this killing, stabbing in Southport? Did you notice something? Hello?
Yeah, brother. You gotta say deleted. Deleted. Keep it coded, please.
Okay.
All right.
No black person defended that. No black person defended that Southport stabbing. None. But there was a guy called Anthony Walker who also got killed 15 years ago, 10
Deleted.
years ago.
Deleted.
Okay, sorry. Who was deleted, sorry. We didn't go out start wanting to hurt white people. There was a young black kid in London who got killed by a sword.
Deleted, bruv. You gotta
Sorry,
keep it coded, bruv. Keep it coded, man.
I'm
Please.
sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Who was deleted by a sword. There was no riots. There was a woman, a little 10-year-old girl called Olivia Pratt, who was deleted. Reece Jones was deleted in Liverpool. Ellie Edwards was deleted. There were
Bro,
no riots.
I'm gonna say this right.
Because
Let's
sorry,
keep it on the black man's experience, the black man's experience. Let's keep on there, bro. We know this hypocritical, but I want to talk about what we're going through right now as brothers.
So
Okay?
I have a question, IP.
Go on, bro.
So for international brothers who are exploring different potential places to live, you don't recommend brothers to move to like London? Because like, for example, I work for a multinational company, and our global headquarters is in London, and that was an experience I always wanted to potentially do, and now I have a company where I can make that a reality. But you're saying that you advise against doing that for brothers listening and potentially considering that.
Now, it's 50-50 because you're Black American, right? And you can back. I'm sure you can back me off here, and I think this also applies to Americans too. But I noticed that if you're a different type of Black person, right, you get treated better. So, for example, right, I know for a fact that
Good
I get
point.
treated better in America than a Black American man. I know that for a fact. Okay, because I've experienced it, right? So you come here, right? Coming to the UK, right? You're going to get treated better than the average Black British man because you have that American factor. You got the coolness factor, NBA, NFL, and just the accent. That's a fact. I've seen Black American brothers do well with women here. Now,
But I have a question though. When people are just looking at us and they're not look like willing to have a even be open to having a conversation with you because of how you look, how does the different experience result from like a Black American man or a British Black man when before someone even talks to you, they're still looking at you and then judging you if they have prejudgments based off of how you look?
yeah, obviously, things will change when you speak, or when you're working with them, or when you're in the club, or when you're in the bar. Then and they hear the accent, yeah, then there'll be different vibes towards you. Okay, but obviously, when they see you, you're Black, so they won't know if you're a Black British man or Black American man. Overall, I would say avoid the UK as a Black American man because it's just not something you really want in terms of quality of woman, in terms of even salary too. Salaries are quite low in the UK.
Yeah.
In terms of enjoyment in general, I don't think you want to be in the UK as a Black American man, to be honest, bro.
Okay.
Living wise, woman wise, you can definitely get women here, but in terms of the rest of it, nah, you want to avoid it, bro.
And it's
Let me
interesting
bring
as
it.
well too,
Go on,
because
bro.
I was gonna say, so my company's global headquarters in the UK in London. So, but I don't have like, there's no Black men on in the company over there in that region that work in my department. Like I work in sales, and there's no salespeople that work for the company in the EMEA region, so in Europe, and
Tells you everything there, bro.
I
That
find
that
that
tells you everything.
crazy. I find that crazy.
That's how the system's set up.
And even here in the States, I'm one of very, very few. But like there, it's non-existent. And there were actually two brothers who were with the company, but they both left for a bunch of different reasons. But I mean, at this current moment, it shouldn't be the case that if two leave, there's none. And it's a huge company, so I'll leave it at that.
There you go. That told you everything. Let me bring in Guala Mills. Guala Mills, can I bring you in? Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up, bro. Okay, you got your camera on. Can you turn it off? Awesome. Let me bring in Guala Mills in the background. What's going on, Guala? How you doing, bro?
How you doing? You good?
I'm doing
Calling
good,
from
bro.
Birmingham still. I'm sure you can tell by the accent.
Yeah, yes,
Ruby
indeed, brother.
life, Ruby.
How you doing, bro?
Yo, it's peak still. I hear what man is saying still, these riots and everything. But I'm gonna tell you straight, as a broomie, I kind of already knew like all these people weren't really for man. You get me? Like, car. It's the culture vulture thing, and this is the problem. Nobody wanted. When I was speaking about the culture vultures, I was being called a hater, but I could see how like white people, Asian people, they only use black people for the culture, whether it's the drill, the hip hop, the dress sense, the suburban. Everybody in the UK speaks with a Jamaican dialect, but they all hate black people. What the fuck is going on? sorry. I'm not gonna swear. You understand? I'm Brummie, you know, like real Jamaican Brummie. Like majority of Birmingham is Jamaican. When you come to Birmingham and you see black people, majority of us are Jamaican. We've only just started seeing new black people, whether they're Somalians, Niger. You know, majority of Birmingham is a certain way. So that's why, like, even the riots and certain things, like, black people ain't really being involved in these things in Birmingham. Do you understand what I'm saying? I've seen one or two people, you know, getting attacked or whatever. You know, I've seen black men get attacked, but I don't know if it was in Birmingham where I'm from. Do you understand me? But it's like I said, the whole culture vulture thing is part of the issue. We don't gatekeep nothing. Everybody can steal from the culture. H, Central, C, Modine, M Honcho, all of these people stealing from the culture. Also, as well, you know, I have a gripe with the black Americans. Stop allowing these people to use the N-word. We in the UK, we're not tolerating that. I tell you straight, regardless of whether we have a culture crisis right now, ain't no white boy walking past me saying the N-word. He'll get slapped in his mouth. They don't have the privy to say these words. We need to step it up. We need to step it up. I don't feel like a victim. I'm going to work. I'm doing my thing. You understand me? And you know, if I get into anything, then I'm gonna have to protect myself, like you said. Do you understand me? But you know, I'm trading, and I'm trying to use the trades and the little money they're giving me off the job to get out. You understand me? And you know, it's gone all right. You know what I mean? I've made 15 this year off trading. You know what I mean? Which is half of their shitty salary they would give me for the year. So we just have to find different angles, and we have to keep it 100% legit, because we know how the system is. I'm from Birmingham, Handsworth blood, Rally Close. I know about the smoke, all about the burgers and Johnny's. There's parts of Birmingham I've never been, rude boy, because of gang violence. So England ain't no teas and crumpets, bro. You understand me? Like, it's bad over here. Remember, guns are illegal. Guns are illegal in the UK.
Yeah.
That don't stop Birmingham and London, Manchester from having some of the highest gun rate. Remember, it was Gunchester at one point, you know. Guns are illegal. So think about the risk people take when they carry these things in the UK. Yeah, that might have stained the black community, but from what I know of and what I can see, with a majority of black guys who are from 28 to 38, 37, most of those guys that was involved in that lifestyle, I don't know whether they're still involved, but I can see like a lot of them have had kids, and now they're probably trying to become legit and just keeping their head down and just focusing on them and family. That's what I'm seeing, because that's kind of what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Like, I've just had my first set of kids. You know what I mean? I got a 2-year-old and a 1-year-old, and you know, all I can do is work and focus on that. You know what I mean? But at the same time, you know, we can't be victims, because you know, our grandparents came here when they needed us to build the country. You know, understand? My mum and dad are born in England. My dad's born in Birmingham, and my mum's born in Bradford. Go back to whose country? Go back to what country? Where are you sending me?
Good
In
point.
Jamaica. In Jamaica, we're foreigners. You know, regardless of whether we have Jamaican descent, you go back to Jamaica. What do you think is gonna happen? Huh? You get robbed, murdered, killed. They think you got money. Foreigner, come here, boy. You understand me? So
we gotta keep it coded, Guala, please.
Sorry.
Let me ask this, right? Let me ask this, right? So, after the riots, right? Have you been getting a lot more microaggressions when you're walking out at work or going to a grocery store, getting weird looks after the riots, bro? Break it down.
Yeah, like I do see people like clutchy on their stuff and that, but like, you know, like I am in Birmingham. Birmingham has it is bad in Birmingham. Birmingham's bad for all that street robbery stuff and all of that. Like, you know, they judge people by the way they dress, but even though when they're dressed the way we dress, it's not a threat. You know, there's white boys walking around in hoodies and balaclavas on, but that's not a problem. Do you understand me? But you know, I had an incident at work the other day. You know, there's an older white guy in there, and you know, I don't normally play music, you understand me, but I've decided to play some music, and because I know I've got the hardcore stuff on my phone, I just said, you know what? I'm not gonna play no Muzzy or nothing like that. Let me play some old school garage, some Monster Boy, My Love, Kelly LaRock, those kind of tunes. Something everybody should be able to bubble to, innit?
Mm.
And a man came over and was like, "Oh, can't you play something with your fucking know?"
Language, bro. Language.
And I was like, but me, I'm a man who I stand up for myself, mate. I don't care, mate. My dad was the type of man, he'd tell you, look in his eyes when he's talking to you and stand up straight. You understand what I'm saying? So I just say, mate, what the fuck you on about? Sorry. I said, mate, what are you on about, mate? Like, I'm playing tunes, I'm minding my own business, and I'm doing my work, you understand me? And literally, he tried to walk up towards me. Someone else came in between and, kind of settled the situation. But he even was like a bit aggressive to that person. And that person was, someone of his, ethnicity, they're the same. So, it was a thing like this, though. Even later on, while we was on the shift and that, I just sarcastically said, in it, my man must be watching too much of the news, in it, too much riots have gone to his head. But that's the type of person I am, in it. Like, I'm just like that. My mom told me straight, you're born here, blood. You don't own nothing. You were born here. This is my country. My mom and dad were born here. Do you understand me? So at the end of the day, I'm not gonna allow anyone to treat me inferior or anything based on the color of my skin. I don't really care. You just have to kill me then, bro. That's just as simple as it is, bro. I don't really care. You understand me? We have rights. We're human beings. This is 2024, and I, as an individual, I do not tolerate or stand for any racism. Do you understand me? If you want to be racist at the workplace, I am taking all the procedures I know via law to protect myself. And I think that's the problem with a lot of us as black people. We'll kind of just turn the other cheek. I'm not about that, mate. I'm not about turning the other cheek.
Thanks, bro. I same here, bro. I'm off that time. You come for me. You say if anything crazy towards me. I'm getting you. No games, it's war now because we've been moving too soft recently. Turning the other cheek. You want to be racist towards us? You want to do something crazy? We will get the law or we'll defend ourselves. No more BS, bruv. No more. We're done with that kindness BS. And I know, and you know what? You know what? I blame religion. Now again, I'm not against religion, right? But I feel like religion has done a huge number on our psyche, and I am upset with my parents with how they've been through some things, right? But religion has told them, "Oh, forgive, blah blah blah." And I've been through some situations, right? And I've told my parents, "Hey, I want to do something about it," and then they'll tell me, "Oh, forgive." F that forgiveness stuff, bruv. Because at some point, right, like I'm not against forgiveness, right? But there's a difference between getting mistreated, right, and getting demeaned because you're black, right, and forgiving them. F no, bruv.
You
And
can't
religion
forgive, man.
has kind of brainwashed a lot of brothers.
Yeah, but I'm religious in the sense I'm religious, but I'm not Christian religious. My thing is Old Testament, strictly Old Testament.
Mhm.
And in the Old Testament it says an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth, blood. There is no turn the other cheek in my thing. I don't accept the idea of the New Testament because I believe if you have an old test in the moment, then you don't need a new test in the moment. Nothing new can undo the old. So I don't need to follow the New Testament, but the Old Testament clearly tells me an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. And if the right hand offends you, you chop that off, blood. So I've never been the tolerant person. Like, ain't nobody hitting me and I'm not hitting them back, bruv. And I ain't 6 foot. Do you understand me? I ain't no 6 foot geezer. I'm not the biggest geezer in the world, but I'm gonna surely defend myself. It's a right. And like I says, if it comes to it, bro, people will have to do kamikaze, bro. You would just have to die, bro. You understand me? It's happened in America. You understand me? Publicity, mate. Publicity. You can't. You know what I mean?
Thank you, bro. Let me go to UK Black. Thank you, brother. You want to see something, bro? I got like 10 minutes left. I'll go get some sleep very soon. Fire away, UK Black.
I haven't got really much to add other than what you've said. Really, I want to say something else. I mean, you talk about how racist the UK is. Well, people forget that Prince Charles, he's the head of the Commonwealth. So that means has power and dominion over Commonwealth black nations, which include Jamaica, which include Barbados, which include Nigeria. So that means that Prince Charles's face is on money in certain Caribbean countries, in certain African countries. His face is on stamps in certain Caribbean countries, in certain African countries as well. So it's always interesting when people talk about that this country isn't a racist country. Especially we have a place called the Privy Council. I'm pretty sure you've heard of the Privy Council in London, which is the last court of appeals, which still has a lot of say over how justice is run in certain Nigerian countries. So yeah, this country is embedded in racism, especially when you have the Commonwealth Games and Prince Charles is the main, commander in chief over that. So this country is just as racist as America in certain ways, well, without the guns. I just wondering what some of the American brothers think about that. I just want to. Has that Birmingham guy gone? Has he gone?
Yes, yes.
No. I just want the American brothers to talk about the fact that we don't use the N-word in Britain, and why do American brothers allow and use the N-word so frequently and so commonly, and even allow white people to use it? Because we just don't. Most black people in Britain don't refer to another black man as the N-word. It just doesn't happen. I just like to, some of the American brothers to speak on it. That's all.
Chan, Brian, go on,
Yeah,
bro.
what I could say is, I think the language difference has a lot to do with the historical culture, because in the U.S., the blacks whose descendants were slaves, they were called, with the ending in R as a derogatory, demeaning terms, and over time there's been an evolution of that word.
Yeah.
And a reuse or a repurpose as far as the significance of it, reclaimed by the black community here in the States. So as a result of that's literally the history of it, and then through the power of the exportation of that U.S. black culture, that U.S. black image, then other blacks or other Afro descendants globally started using that language and embodying that culture, just because that's how the culture was exported, and that speaks to the power of the culture here in the U.S. But I would say, brother, that's the real reason why it's the root of it. It's where it was created, essentially.
Okay.
Yeah, and to add to why I guess other brothers, I don't let people do that, but why other brothers might let people that are not us, right, say that I think it's just due to what you just said earlier, right? Right, the rap, right, the hip hop space is now the number one genre, and so now most of the top musics have that word, so it's a little awkward, right? Like I'm trying to put myself in other people's shoes, right? Imagine, you're not a brother, but all the top songs and the clubs and hip hops, all that stuff have that word 24/7. And then people say it all the time around you. That's where that disconnect happens. Because that's where I kind of like agree with IP, where it's like we need to like not stop saying that and also stop supporting music that says that, because it leaves awkward situations for people like me, where you're in a place where someone play music, people sing along, and then what do you do? You can check, you can check them, you can say, hey, don't do that or whatever, but you know, it just puts you in an awkward situation. But I do have to go. It's a little late, so before I go, right, I know IP you're still making moves, right, to get out of the UK. I personally look. I personally agree with that decision, and like this whole idea of my ancestors are here and I'm here. I think that's all cope. I think you should go where you're treated best. I mean, why would you go where you're treated worse? I mean, that's like staying at a job that pays you less money. You can get a better job that's better for you and get paid more. I never understood this. So, but the good thing IP would say, I know you're going through, I know you're going through it right now. But the good thing I would say is, bro, you are a British brother, right? So maybe where you're at, it's terrible. But outside of the UK, you're a British brother. You're gold right there. I mean, you speak English, right? You're also in the tech field, right, which is highly needed, especially in the country that you know a good amount of language in, or in Japan, right? There's a booming tech sector over there. So if I were you, I would try to just get either the American citizenship or like go over there because as a British brother, I don't think it's that difficult doing that, and or just go abroad. And that's what I did. I mean, I think my life is still pretty good in the U.S., but when I found I could live a better life abroad, that's really what I did. So anyway, I don't agree with the whole just staying, all the roots, all that stuff. I think you need to go where you're treated best. And the good thing about you is that you're smart, you're intelligent, and you have skills, right, that transfer no matter where you go. So it's real. My plan for you, if I were you, is I'd be focused on my exit strategy. Like that's what I did all of 2023, and now I'm out. I think you should be doing the same thing. But yeah, I gotta go now.
Plan on what? Sorry, excess what?
Your exit strategy.
Yes, indeed. Yo, thank you, Jam.
Yeah, there's just no reason for you to stay here, man. I mean, you will literally be treated better in the U. I mean, just your accent alone will get you doors in the U.S. or in a lot of other places. So like, why stay here where they don't value your talents? We can just go abroad and live a better life. It doesn't make sense. But and I know I'm not the only one who said that. Theo said that the last time y'all had that stream. So I think it's a common theme. I'm sure there's reasons why. You said you will talk to me offline. Maybe we'll figure it out. But I'm sure there's reasons why you're still there. But like, if I'm you, I started listening to you about a year and a half ago, and you were like a big catalyst for the reason why I left the U.S. And now I'm gone. So it's crazy to me how you have this channel about finding all these different countries and where black men are treated best, but you haven't left. Like I left mainly because of your streams. So it's crazy. It's crazy to me how you're still there. So but anyway, I know that there's reasons you can't talk about. Maybe we can talk offline. But yeah, plan that extra strategy.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate you, Jam. Let me bring in Jughead in the background. Jughead, can I bring you in? Your camera's on. Is that okay? Or thank you. Let me bring in Jughead in the background. What's going on, bruv?
Yeah, bro. Evening, Brian.
Sorry, go on, Brian. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, sorry. Yeah, I was gonna wait till you let the other brother in. I was just gonna make another comment as well. From the brother from I think it was Liverpool or like the greater Liverpool area. I personally I don't allow non-blacks to ever say that N-word around me or call me that as well. But there's an experience, as a black person who grows up in like a predominantly white school from high school through university and into the working world, and I want to know if it's similar to in the UK. So it's like the best schools are in the predominantly white areas. So as non-white people, but in this specific context, blacks or like African immigrants, Caribbean immigrants who move and have kids here, you have to learn that, and then you have to understand that if you want to give your kids the highest probability of succeeding, then you have to move to a predominantly white area in order to give them the best possible education, because there is private education, right, which is very expensive, but there's also we have a different school system than in the UK. So it's like the funding for the public schools comes from the property tax and the property value of the school district that you're in. So naturally, the places where there's higher property value, higher property taxes, they have more funding for the education, which literally sets the foundations for the trajectory of your life. You can't do calculus and physics and engineering if you can't even do basic maths, multiplication, division, subtraction at the foundational levels. But this structure's been created. So I say all that to say, so my experience having to move into a predominantly white area, a lot of brothers, because they don't know any better, we're the minority, and all the people who control, growing up through school popularity, I mean the mainstream culture and the people who are the holders of everything are white people. So a lot of brothers fall into the tendency of wanting to fit in with that crowd because it's like the white girls are the girls who everyone thinks are the prettiest, and it's like the white guys are the guys who are popular and all of that stuff. So you fall into this trap of wanting to fit in and be cool, and meanwhile it's funny because all these kids are listening to like rap music and all that stuff because that's the most popular genre. But so then they end up saying these types of things, and then you end up kind of, you know, just letting it slide, because if you were to push back on that, then like you would be outcasted essentially socially, and that would completely change like your whole experience from a social standpoint. And this is something that you experience from, you know, preteen all the way up through university. And that's me speaking from my experience, who went to predominantly white schools from primary through secondary all the way through university, and joining a fraternity that was, although was mixed, was predominantly white and historically white as well. So I want to know if that's the experience in the UK, from all the levels I spoke about through even, you know, corporate.
And they were saying the N word to you in that fraternity.
Bro, there were brothers in my fraternity, white brothers, who, because they got a pass from some other black person, they thought that they would argue and debate with me about why they have a right to say it, when I would be saying, don't say that around me, don't call me that, don't. I'm not one to say, to tell other people what they can or can't say, but I can tell them what they can and can't say around me if they want to be around me, and I can tell them what they can and can't call me if you know, they don't want things to escalate to another level.
And they stopped, right?
Brother, they would argue with me. I had to disassociate. I had to disassociate because the ignorance is so high
Mm.
that and you have to understand. I understand that earlier you guys were mentioning, you know, the state of black people in the UK, and I greatly empathize with that. But the majority of black people here in the States, in reality, have it down bad. If you look at, you know, the most of the black communities in across the country, those are the communities where it's the lowest property value, high rates of crime.
Yeah.
Things are not good for us. They're very bad, and a lot of it, I mean, all of it stems from generations ago, when even though things were free, there was still a whole other century of these institutions and systems put in place to keep people held back. So it's like, it's just, yeah, it's unfortunate, you know, but
Wow,
yeah.
couldn't be me, man.
Mm.
That's just wild. I don't know what's going on there in America, but not in the UK, bruv. It's very rare I hear that word. If I hear that word, that gets reported immediately, or I
Yeah.
see something about it. Isn't that the case as well, UK black? There are some black people that say it, and I have called them out, and I don't really hang out around those type of black people that drop the N word like that. Go on,
I, I,
bro.
think, I think I think with England, they call us the N word economically. They call us the N word through the education system, through the economic system, through the unemployment system. They call us the N word through the housing system. They don't call us the N word to our face, because most of them don't have the guts. But they call us the N word through all of their various systems they use to keep us in our place. That's how they use the N word. And it's probably the same for my American brothers. And I didn't mean that in a disrespectful way, because I have the humility to understand that Black Americans are the face of Black people globally. They just are. So I don't really want to get into any type of diaspora war or who's better. No.
Oh, of course not, brother. Of
No.
course not.
No. Okay.
Wow.
But
But the
yeah, I
good
wanted
thing
to
is,
know, is that the
go on.
experience for brothers in the UK? Like, do you end up feeling, because like for me, I'm 27 years old, and like I said, all of my educational experience historically has been around white people. Now, as I continue to advance myself in corporate and socioeconomically, the less people I see around me who look like me,
Yeah.
and so like is the black experience there, like do brothers kind of feel like this pressure that they have to assimilate to the majority race, or do they switch up and you know, kind of favor that demographic to for their gain, their personal gain and advancement?
I think right. Now,
That just shows. Sorry.
you
Go on.
go on, go on, go
That
on.
just shows how mentally tough Black people are. Because if you're a Black man working in the corporate world, You basically have to be an actor every single day of your life.
That's my experience every single day.
Every single day, you can't raise your voice too loud. You're the representative of your race. You know, you're always looking over your head's on a swivel. You're always looking over your shoulder. Every single day, you have to be an actor. That's why I laugh when I hear about all this depression in the white community. I'm like, what have you what have you got to be depressed for? You want to try what life is like over here. Because if you notice when you look at depression, it's not black men who are committing suicide, is it?
No. Deletion. Let's not get too sensitive to that, please. All right. I might have to deal with this stream in a different way. You have to keep it coded, man.
Okay,
like, stop
sorry.
it, please. Like,
All right.
okay. So let me ask the question. So,
I apologize.
This stream is done for, bruv. All right. So, what I mean here, right, is that, so a great point there, Brian, right? But I'm at a point where I've noticed that if you want to get a promotion, you have to act a certain way. You got to do this, do that, do that. And I think we're playing the game in the wrong way, right? You either bounce to a different job, because normally when you leave a job, right, okay, you get paid more, okay. So all you got to do is do your responsibilities, get paid, walk away, right? And that's what you got to do every day. They got a problem with that. Who cares? Make sure you build your skill set up. Make sure you're investing as well. Okay, you invest your money in assets, so you're protected, etc., etc. But it's very important that going all hard for promotion isn't the way for black men. We don't get promoted because we're black. So you have to just leave for a different job and work towards something different. It's just the way the system is. And I think, trying to change yourself to fit in every day is like playing a movie character. At some point that might make you go crazy. Yeah. So I think just, playing the corporate game very well, work for a company. If they don't promote you within 3 years, 4 years, get out of that company. Go to a new one that will pay you more. That's how I'm seeing things right now, and how it goes for black people. It is what it is, bro. Let me bring in Jughead in the background. How you doing, Jughead? You good?
Good morning, IP. Good morning, Brian. And good morning, UK Black. Yes.
What's up?
The topic, my brother. Back to the topic at hand. I feel your pain, bro, about the looks, the covert, passive-aggressive nonsense we go through every day as black males. I'm very familiar with that look, and I brought, like I said in the chat, I'll tell it with interest. I'll tolerate nonsense. So I'm older than you guys. I grew up in the 70s as a child, so I'm a bit what it was like in the 70s. I grew up in South Bermondsey, which is a notoriously violent, racist area in the 70s, and but I gave it as good as I got. It didn't scar me. I gave it as good as I got. I was a strong father, thank God, a strong father. It's able to defend myself and not taking any nonsense. But it seems like it's going back to that way now. But I'm not surprised because these people, it was always covert with them. They've never really got rid of their bigotry. It was just dormant. And sometimes it bubbles to the surface, like what happened 2 weeks ago. So I'm not surprised about what happened. Now the solution is this. As I think Jen said before we left, if you're working, diversify your income. I started investing 3 years ago. We should have done it decades ago. I wish I'd done this decades ago, bruv. I'm way behind, man, but I'm catching up slowly. Investment, that's the key, because if you can't get promotion in the companies, there's no black community as there were in the 70s and 80s. There's no black community anymore in this country. Black people are too individualistic and selfish. So we got to look after ourselves. So invest in index funds, so ETFs, invest in all you can. So crypto, if you're into crypto, and be ready, and that's what you should do. And keep fit. Keep fit mentally, physically. Do martial arts, train, so you can defend yourself. I'm saying I'm not a criminal at all. I'm a clean guy. But I'm telling you that, IP, if anyone dare put hands on me, like that brother said, brother UK Black. I remember that Alan Walker. I remember clearly that it was killed. The young boy that was deleted in Liverpool by the cousin of Jamie. The footballer Jamie, what's his name? That bro, UK bro, you know that.
Can we avoid speaking about deletions, bro? It's quite a black man's experience.
Sorry.
I don't want to hear about deletions, man.
Okay,
Let's keep it.
okay,
It's
okay.
about our experience, man.
Okay.
Living, breathing, what we're going through, not deletions, bro.
Okay.
Please.
Okay, so solutions. Back to solutions. Then. As same as a black man, SYSMB black man, or IBMOM man, try and make for Blinks is doing now. Get healthy, and you've got spare income, spare surplus cash. Invest in yourselves. That's the key. That's the key word. Residual income. Magic words. If you don't depend on the statement in the site, if that hates your guts for income, it gives you more freedom and more stability, I believe. So when you depend on a system that hates our guts as black men, that can bring on all kind of mental issues. But we've got options that helps. So we have to do that ourselves. ETFs, index funds, from networks like we're doing now.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you, bro. Okay. I need to jump off, man. I'm tired. Let's go for closing statements. Let's go with Brian first. Brian, do you have any closing statements, bro?
Yeah, I lastly want to say for any brothers who are working in corporate, try to seek out mentors. I know we're few and far between, but if they're, people who look like you who are in higher positions, seek them out, because that's something that I've actively been doing, and I've received positive responses from those people who understand the challenges and the difficulties, but they've been able to navigate through them, and those will be your best resources in order to navigate through to everything that we just discussed. Other than that, hang in there, IP. I know things are tough. Don't let it break you. Keep strong. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep supporting this brother, and I appreciate you providing a space where brothers can talk about things like this, because it's not easy everywhere. So thank you, IP, and get some rest.
Thank you, man. Much appreciated, Brian. Mr. Jughead, any closing statements?
Yes, sir. Again, just to reiterate what Brian said, thanks for giving us a platform to vent and to meet with. This is our church. This is our congregation, the Black Man's congregation, as I see it. And we must give each other support if we can, and good ideas. Now, solutions also: keep fit, keep healthy, have a healthy diet. Very important. Cut down the sugar and get rid of parasites in the body. Your mind will be fresh. You've got a strong mind, strong body. That's the foundation. Health, fitness first, and then diversify income. Get independent income streams, and ready to leave. That's what I've got to say. Love to UK Black, love, respect, brother. IP, love, respect.
Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you, Jughead. Appreciate you, bro. Mr. UK Black, do you have any closing statements?
I'd just like to echo what the other brothers have said, and to any black person going through racism, always remember it's not personal. It's not an attack on you. It's an attack on what they think of your race. It's never personal. I know you're going through some stuff, and I know you're going through some stuff international, but just stay strong. But thank you for giving us a platform to speak. It's very rare black men can speak this honestly and openly, because we know that we'll probably get slapped down or lose our job or whatever. So I gotta thank you for giving us this platform to speak. Maybe if you do it it's 4:30 now. So if you do it maybe in the evening, you might even get even more people on. But yeah, thanks international. Respect, that's it.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you, UK Black. Thank you, bro. Much appreciated. Okay, awesome. All right, you brothers. Okay. Stay strong, man. UK brothers. Stay strong. Stay strong, brothers worldwide. We gotta keep working towards prosperity, our goals, success. Let's keep going, man. Let's keep going, bruv. It's been a pleasure. Look after yourselves, yeah? Peace out.